So today we are going to looking at the continuation of 3D meshing. So yesterday so far we have covered about the how to create a TET mesh in ANSYS Workbench. What are the different options are available in the tetra meshing creation, like patch conforming method and patch independent method. Today we will looking for the creation of hex mesh. It's a super complicated, not a super complicated, it's quite complicated to create. For a simple geometry it is very easy, but if it is a complicated geometry, you have to do some geometrical operations to separate the model into multiple pieces and try to mesh it as a hex mesh. Okay, and so here you will notice that we have a geometry over here. It's just an L section. It's very easy to create this geometry, so I have created this geometry by using SolidWorks. And after that creation of the geometry, you have to save this file in IGS format .IGS, and you can import that file in ANSYS. So ANSYS can support the IGS format. Okay, so the thing is, in our yesterday session, what we gonna do here is, what we actually do in yesterday session is, so we create a mesh. So just right click on the mesh and you will have an option called methods. In that methods, there is a lot of methods like tetra meshing and hex meshing and sweep and multi-body. So we have completed the tetra part. So the first part is, the next part is hex and sweepable, and the next is mappable. Okay, so first we will start from that hex mesh. The hex is only for the creation of brick meshes, that is hex mesh. Okay, so before enter into that, why should I actually want to create a hex mesh rather than creating a tetra meshes? Okay, so the first thing is a mappable geometry. So always you need a mappable geometry to create a hex mesh. So what is that mappable? So mappable means, or else you can say it as a sweepable. So here you will notice that there is a phase over here. So what happened here is, actually it first creates a 2D mesh. First it creates a 2D. After that it converts it as a 3D element. So in cases of 3D, so I have already registered this point in our past sessions. First it creates a quad element. After that it extrudes that quad element as a brick element. What happened if it is a triangular element? It extruded as a prism, or else you can say it as a weed element in ANSYS itself. So either two possibilities. In some cases, not some cases, in most of the cases, in triangle there will be a one perpendicular node in the normal direction and connect all the remaining three edges and having four phases. So this is called tetra element. Okay, so first it tried to create a quad mesh on this face and try to extrude this throughout this structure. Why? Because it has this ability to extrude that. That is why it is called as a mappable or as a sweepable geometry. Or else I can easily split this geometry into multiple pieces and I can create a hex mesh over there. Okay, why hex mesh? So that is the next thing. So when I create a tetra meshing, so right now I just created a tetra mesh over this model. You will notice that how many elements are there? That is 14,118. So around 14,000 elements are created in this model. So I am using a patch conforming method. There is no option enabled in the mesh defeaturing like that. The transition is fast. All the remaining options we have seen in our past session, these options. What is the disadvantages over tetra meshing? So while comparing to hex meshing, higher stiffness. So we already discussed that. So whenever you have a triangular element that behaves more stiffer, by geometrically it is a more stiffest material, and if you are having more number of triangular elements, you will get a less number of stress value. Your output will be not a reliable value. Okay. Ultimately, the tetra is comes from the triangular element. So that is the first reason your mesh is a higher stiffer one. And what is the second thing? You may get a numerical error. Okay. So see, you will notice that there is a lot of meshes which is in the irregular pattern. There is no such regular pattern or a regular distribution of nodes and elements. So it is created randomly. So there might be a possibilities if some of the nodes are overlapped or having poor quality of element creation causes a numerical error. So comparative in hex mesh also there might be a numerical error, but comparatively, so tetra mesh having more number of numerical errors. So the thing is, if you use hex mesh, you may not get numerical error. Okay. So but it is not sure. So 100%ly or not getting numerical error is not the thing. So the probability is here, the probability is higher. In that hex mesh, the probability is very low. Okay, so that is the thing I want to share here. And when I move on to that hex meshing, you might notice that the same element size, everything is same for the two configuration. But the thing is, here the element is higher, here the element is very lower. Okay, so only 8027 elements is created over here. So probably the solving time will be more higher because my elements and nodes is having a almost it's double, right? So it's 8027, it's 1418. Okay, so it is get solved very fastly while comparing to this tetra meshing. And reduced element count is the one of the biggest advantages, and reduced runtime, that is I'm talking about the solving time. So after assigning the boundary condition, so when you click on solve, it is very it is easily solved while comparing to the tetra meshing. And reduced numerical error, so always you will notice that there is a equal pattern. The distribution of elements and nodes is very proper in this mesh. Okay, so while comparing to the tetra meshing, so that is the some of the advantages in hex mesh rather than go for a tetra meshing. So some advantages also in the tetra meshing, it is very easy to create, but so this is the thing I want to explain. Okay, so I have already created the model. So what I will do here is I just drag and drop the mesh environment. So I don't need to perform any analysis over here. So just right click and say insert geometry. So this is my model, hex mesh model, IGS format, and double click on the mesh environment. Okay, so now my geometry is imported. So the first thing is right click on mesh and insert and say method, select the whole body and click on apply. And you know that what is this element order, so I need a linear, and switch over to the automatic method to hex dominant method. So we have seen that tetrahedral, so now I need to create a hex dominant method. And you will have an option called free face mesh type, and you know that what is free face mesh type. So even though if you select the all quad, software will try to create all quad mesh over the faces, but it is not possible. Sometimes it creates a triangular mesh over there in some places. So for now I just give all quad element and give the element sizing whatever it is, maybe 5 mm, right click and say generate mesh. So now my mesh is initiated. You may get a mesh like that. So like I said before, I choose a all quad, but it shows that so all quad free face mesh type was chosen, but some triangular elements were created during the meshes. So see what happened here is it actually created a hex mesh. So I just shift over to the element face selector or element selector. See, no, this is the whole element, a hex element box. So if you have any triangular elements, this is also quad, but in some phases you may, I think yeah, here you have an triangle. So this is a prism element. So what happened here is this triangle is extruded in the perpendicular direction. So sometimes it may create a prism element also. So prism means this. Even though if you have a quad element in the perpendicular direction, there will be a one node and connect this points. So this is called a prism element. So right now we only have the brick element, that is a hex element.
Sir, what is difference between quad and prism? Both are same. It looks same.
Quad and prism both are same.
Okay.
No. Both are not same. Like quad is a 2D element. Quad is a 2D element. This is quad.
Okay.
When I try to extrude this quad, it will be like that. Alright. So this is my quad. If I extrude it, it will be converted as a hex element. So now it has a 6 faces hex element.
Okay.
What does that prism means? If you have a triangular element, triangle. So this is my triangular element. If I try to extrude it, it will be like this, right?
Yeah.
So this element is called prism element, or else you can say it as a weed element, weed or prism.
Okay, sir.
So in some cases only, so if you are using a hex dominant method, then only it creates a prism element. But if you are using a what is that, tetra meshing, in our STD session we use a tetra meshing, right? So then if you have a triangle, it probably creates a tetra element. How it actually created means you have a node on the perpendicular direction of this phases. Here you have a node, and after that it try to connect this 3 points.
This extrusion of triangle is prism.
Yeah,
and
the
if
extrusion
we
of
are
triangle
connecting only one point, then that is a tetra meshing.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Understood.
And yep, good. So in some places the mesh may be might having a poor quality of elements. So it will be overcome when you change the element sizing furtherly or reducing the element sizing furtherly. When I try to reduce the element sizing 2 mm, right click and say generate meshing. So you don't have any options in the hex dominant method, so you only have to give all the options in the global setting. So converting the triangular elements. So when you reduce the element sizing, probably the meshing time also increases, and nodes and elements counts also drastically increased. Okay, so I think it gets stuck over here.
Sir, hex meshing will give better result, right?
Hex mesh cube has better results. Yeah, good.
Okay.
But it's hard to create over the model. So it's not easy to create, right? So for a simple
Yeah.
geometry, it is easy. If it is a complicated structure, it is not recommended. You may get a poor quality of elements. Okay. Even though our computer has a dedicated graphics card, it takes much time to discretize this model. So that is why we are recommended always use a larger number of element sizes rather than go for a smaller number. And when you check over the statistics, you'll know that it's around 62 thousands of nodes. Okay, what happen if I try to give the, so what are the other options are available? So if you want to control the sizing factor, you can always use by body sizing option also. Right click and say insert sizing. Okay, the geometry should be body selector, the whole body, and say apply. The element sizing should be 5 mm. So even though if you are giving a 2 mm element size in the global setting, so it doesn't obey. Why? Because we have assigned another value in the local setting itself. Okay, so sometimes your meshes may failed due to some overlapping of the meshing. So either you can change some option in from all quad to quad and tria, and defeaturing, I don't want to defeature, and span angle should be not fine, medium, and right click and say generate mesh.
Sir, through Google global setting also we can give element size. Then
Yeah,
what is the use of this body sizing?
so it's
Why
a,
specifically?
yep, so if you have an assembly or multiple parts, so you
Okay.
can't use the global setting, so it controls the all the objects, right? So if you have a 10 to 12 parts over there, so when you give the value in the global sizing, these values affects the 10 parts. Okay, so you can't
Okay.
control the each and every geometry or each and every parts over there. Okay,
Hence, by using this body sizing, we will select specific part, and for that
yes,
we will change the size.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Yep. So this is what a hex dominant method. So if it is a simple geometry, you can simply go for hex dominant and you can create a mesh like this. Okay, and we will shift over to the next geometry, that is called sweep. For that we need a different geometry. So your geometry should, if your geometry is a sweepable one, you can use a sweepable method. So how should I make sure? So first I'll create another mesh environment and close this entities and open design modular. I'm trying to create a new model for a sweepable geometry. So change the unit system first to millimeters and select a plane and say look at. Okay, constraints this point, coincide, also this point coincide. So we have a line segment like this, and so it is in XY. So I need to draw a circle on the YZ plane. So go to modeling and say YZ. Okay, before that, so I need to always show the sketch, YZ sketching. go to circle. From here I need a circle. So I don't give any dimensions at all. So I want to sweep this profile to this path. Press Ctrl to select all the entities and say apply and click on generate. Now you have a geometry like this. So what I will do here is I just close the design modular and double click meshing. So right now it is a sweepable geometry. So what does it means? Okay, so now my geometry is imported over here. How sweep is actually works. So software will first try to mesh this faces here and sweep the mesh. So instead of sweeping the whole geometry, so what we have actually done here is, so actually we draw a circle and sweep the circle over the path, right? So likewise software always try to create a mesh on this face and try to sweep along this path up to this face. So for that you need to give a source. So this is my source and this is my target. So this is called sweep. So whatever the geometry you have like this, you can use a sweep method. Okay, so whether if I try to mesh it, software always use the sweep method. So you don't need to insist that this is a sweepable method. So when I try to generate a mesh, see, you can notice that so this mesh is exactly matches with it. So this exactly matches with this, right? And also this. So it just sweep that method. So for now software actually uses the sweep method. So that is why it's created like that. Okay, so in sometimes software will fail to choose, okay, this is not a sweepable body. So how should I make sure whether it is a sweepable body or not? It's very simple. So I just clear the mesh, generate the mesh and right click and show. You have an option called a sweepable body. So when I try to select the sweepable body, software will highlight this. So if it is not selected by software, so you know that it is a sweepable, but right now software will not try to assume that it is not a sweepable one. You can insist the software, okay, it is a sweepable geometry, you have to use the sweepable method by using this. So just right click and say insert. In method itself you will have an option called sweepable. So if it is identified by software, you don't need to install this, like you don't need to install automatic method and change to sweepable. If it is not recognized by the software, you can use the sweepable. And when I select the sweepable, you will have a lot of options like algorithm. In algorithm itself, you have an option called axisymmetric. For axisymmetric we have a dedicated session. So in that I will explain what is axisymmetric. And element order, you know that whether you need a linear or quadratic, it's up to you, you can select anything. And it asks for a source and a target. So which is your source and which is your target. Right now it's set to automatic. If you want to set it as a manual source, I mean, you have a lot of options. So the last two options is for 2D, especially for the sheet metal designs. We will see in our analysis session about the two options like automatic thin and manual thin. Either you give manual source or else you give the manual source and target. So if you want to give the both source and target, so I will choose manual source and target. My source is this face and say apply. My target is this face and say apply. Okay, so or else you can simply leave to the system, it automatically recognize which is the source face and which is the target face. and you have another option called free face mesh type. This is same as that. You can select all quad option or quad triangle, it's up to you. And you have another option called a number of divisions. So number of divisions is up to here. So when it's try to extrude like this, how many divisions you need. So right now it is in default. So either you need the total division should be 30 or 40 layers, how many layers it actually extruded. So we will explain. So when you try to create it that, so I have given all the values over here. So after that, right click and say generate mesh. It is created a mesh, but it is not actually a proper mesh. So when I try to decrease the element sizing, either you can use the global setting, or else you can use a body sizing option. And say apply. The element sizing should be 2 mm. So 2 is very minimum. 3 is fine, and right click and say generate mesh. Okay, so now you will get a proper mesh. So exactly, so whatever the mesh you get over here, that is reflected in the spaces. So when I try to select an element over here, see, all the element are hex mesh. So if you're having a triangular element over here, so you will get a prism element. So this element is actually extruded in this direction. So this is what number of divisions. So right now you have a n number of divisions, like this is first division, 1, 2, layers 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can control that in sweep method. So right now it's set to default. So software whatever it can assume. So if you want to control that, either you need 30 layers or 40 layers, you can manually control that also. So it's up to you.
Sir, by that element size will change, right?
No. So element size is only for this elements, like not for that layers at all.
Okay.
Okay.
This front element cross
this
section.
front element cross sections. So always you need to make sure that you have to create a proper mesh on this segment in the spaces. So without proper meshes, if you are creating a poor quality of mesh over here, so probably it is extruded the whole body. For the whole body, this mesh is actually reflected up to this section. You may get a 3D element that is also a very poor quality. So if you are creating a best quality element on this face, you may get a good mesh all over the body.
Okay,
but you are not always using this method. Only a certain geometry will support a sweepable method. Okay, so this is called sweep method. And what about that next thing, that is multi-zone. So we will explain. For that we need another geometry. So again I will so starting design modular, I'll create a simple model. So I just say a two-line word. What does multi-zone means? Already we have seen that multi-zone, right, in our 2D. What happened in 2D? So that is what happened in 3D also. What happened in 2D? Can anyone? Why we use a multi-zone option?
When do we take mesh component and mechanical model component? Now you have taken a mechanical model component.
Okay.
Yes.
It doesn't make any difference. Either you can.
Engineering material is added, right, in this?
Yes.
Yeah, engineering data is added.
You can use for some analysis, but not you can't view that results at all. For that you need a result environment. For now I use a mechanical model, so which includes engineering data.
If we want to import this in other software, then which one will we import, mesh or mechanical model?
Yeah, mechanical model. So if you want to change export the mesh only itself, you can use this option. Or else you can use a mechanical model. Like it's a solver deck file, it's only a mesh data. It doesn't
Okay, sir.
contains any geometrical information, not a geometrical information like a boundary
Okay.
conditions as well as a material related data, but it includes the material data as well as the boundary conditions like fixed support, degrees of freedoms at all.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so geometry, I will choose x and z plane and say look at, I'll draw a circle over here. Okay, before that, please change the unit system to millimeters and try to extrude it. And say generate, and also face selector, sketching, control 8. Okay, not control 8, that is extrude and click on generate. Okay, so I just randomly created a model. So what is multi-zone? So it will split my geometry into a multiple pieces. Software will try to split my geometry into a multiple pieces and converted it as a mappable geometry. So mappable is more similar to the sweepable. It can measure the one side and extrude the mesh into a particular direction. So in this geometry, when I try to show sweepable body, it doesn't shows any sweepable body. Why? Because there is a two methods. Either you can manually split this model, see, right click and say show sweepable, there is no sweepable body at all. But if I get back to the design modular, so two methods. Either you can split this geometry into a multiple pieces. I can split the top extrusion by using slice by plane, not I want to slice by surface. This is my target face and click on apply and say generate. Now it is splitted. So in before cases we only have one parts. Right now we have five parts by bodies, and always to make sure it's a single part. And again get back to that. So now my design is updated. Okay, so this is a separate one, this is a separate one, and this is a separate one. Make sure you are assigning the material, that is structural steel. Okay, what happened here? If I try to right click and say show sweepable body, see, now it shows that it's a sweepable body, and also it is also a sweepable body. You can give it as a separate one. When I try to generate mesh, see, so if it is a sweepable body, its software always try to create a hex mesh. But if it is not a sweepable body, software always try to create a tetra mesh. I want to convert it as a consider as a sweepable body. What can I do here is I can insert a method for this body and click on apply and automatic to sweep. In this case I can give the source and target, so I want to give the source only. So this is my okay, make sure you are in the face selector mode. This is my source. Okay, so I have to give the target also source, and this is my target face, and right click and say generate mesh. Okay, that mesh initialization is failed. So first I will suppress this body, right click and say suppress body, clear generated data, right click and say generate mesh. Okay, so I will leave the control to software like the source and target automatic, and right click and say generate mesh. Okay, sometimes it may fails. You can use hex dominant for this method. Sweep to right click and generate mesh. Okay, now it is created. The thing is, why it is actually not created means you have a surface split over there. So you will notice that. So if I try to select this, so this is a separate surface, and this is a separate face, this is a separate, and this is a separate face. So that is why it is not matching the meshes. So when I use the sweep method, this face should exactly matches with this face, so then only I can use a sweep method. So that is why sweep is not created over here. So but hex is okay. So what I will do here is I just again unsuppress all the bodies and try to create a mesh again, generate mesh. Okay, now it is created. Now this shape will be deferred just because whatever the mesh which is take places on that particular face will reflected on this face, because software is using a sweep method for this thing. Okay, but if I don't split this model into a multiple session, what happened here? Okay, so I just delete this entities. Also get back to the design modular and say explode the part and delete the slice option, and came back here, model, update from the source. Now it is a single body. Insert method, select the whole body and say apply. Now I can use the method called multi-zone. Multi-zone will literally split my geometry into a multiple pieces and convert it as a sweepable geometry. You will get a lot of options over here. So I will explain one by one. The first thing is mapped mesh type. So what is that mapped mesh type means? So you will have a hex prism and only a prism. So mapped mesh type is only for the outer surfaces, like these outer surfaces. Okay, either you need a hex mesh on the outer surface or hex prism. So hex is called when you look at from the outer side, it looks like a quad, but the first layer should be a hex or else hex prism or a prism. So ideally it is a quad element, it is a triad, it's a quad and triad combinations. So either you can select hex or prism or hex prism. Okay, so I will choose hex prism. Okay, so only hex. We will try whether it is created or not. And this is for surface mesh. So surface mesh means you have two different options like uniform and pave. So if you choose uniform, your mesh is in a particular pattern, like a uniform pattern, like this. But if you are choosing a pave method, you don't have any uniform method, so your mesh may created like this, which is with a irregular pattern. So you will soon notify that. So first I will choose the option called uniform, and free face mesh type is for the volume. This is for volume. So right now it is not allowed. So I will switch over to what type of mesh you need in the volume. So either you need a tetra or tetra prism, or you have two hex options, like one is hex dominant, another one is hex core. Hex core and hex dominant ultimately create both hex elements, but hex core creates a series pattern, like in our yesterday session we have seen a patch conforming and patch independent, right? So in patch conforming there is no proper distribution, the volume mesh is not in a pattern, but patch independent the volume mesh is in the more proper shapes. So likewise, if you are using a hex core, it will create a high quality of hex element, like in a particular order. So if you are using a hex dominant, it only create a hex element, but it is not in a certain pattern. Okay, so first I will use a hex dominant, and the element order should be linear, and I don't want to select any source or target. Why? Because it actually divides my geometry into multiple pieces and try to sweep this model. Okay, to control the sweeping operation you will get this option. I don't want to change anything over here. So up to this, so when we try to mesh this model, what happened here? Okay, so I furtherly reduce the element sizing by using sizing option, whole body, and say apply. The element sizing should be 5 mm. Right click and say generate mesh. Okay, two, three. So you will notice that it actually splitted the model. So it actually split this 4 segment as a separate one and this segment as a separate one. So 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 5. Okay, the mesh has completed, but some of the elements are not compatible with this applied shapes. Maybe we can change misty feature, no, and span angle should be fine. The element sizing should be 4, and right click, generate mesh. Okay, it faced some applied face checking criteria. Either you only use this sizing factor of, okay, so I use the soft to hard behavior and try again. Okay, still you are facing, so you can use a higher element size, that is 5. We have previously used that. Okay, so now it is created. Now you will notice that there is a even pattern, I mean equal pattern, just because we say that it is in uniform. So what happen if I say pave? Right click and say generate mesh. See, you may notice that there is no pattern at all. So the mesh is created randomly. See, there is no pattern at all. So if I try to say I don't want pave, I need a uniform, and right click and say generate mesh, you may get a proper mesh on the outer surfaces. So that is only for the outer surfaces, not for the volume. See, now it is created in a particular pattern, not on a irregular pattern. Okay, so what happened inside the volume? So we will check out that also. So for that I will use the sectional plane option, sectional plane, and okay, one sec, sectional plane. Okay, see, it actually created a mesh, but it is not in a proper manner. Sectional plane, and say that your volume mesh is not in a proper manner. It is in a you have a lot of disregularity. So first go to body sizing, details, I mean multi zones, and I will change the free face mesh type to hex dominant to hex core, and right click and say generate mesh. So just watch this mesh. See, now you will get a proper mesh on the volume. So this is what I am trying to explain. So you have a proper mesh over here. So in the first layer, so just because I give a hex and quad, so it tried to create a hex, but it failed to create a hex, and it created as a prism element like this in the first layer itself only. It's not for all thing. So here it creates a high quality of quad element, I mean not quad, hex element. So the outer range will be created like this, that prism, not prism, pyramid element. Okay, good. So if you want to delete the sectional plane, select this plane and say delete, it will be deleted. Also you can close it. So likewise you can control lot of meshes, so you don't need to split this model. So that is the ultimate thing. So the splitting purpose will be done by the multi-zone, and I try to apply the sweep method for this, or else you can manually split the design in the design modular itself. Hope you will get this point, and yep, so that is all for this session. So far we have completed the 3D meshing part. From our tomorrow session we will start the analysis part. So today's session is a static structural theory session. What is static structural? So we will see about the basic theory behind the static structural, and we will perform the basic static structural analysis. So up to this point, do you face any issues, or do you have any doubts which is regarding to our meshing part?
No doubt, sir.
Good.
Fine, sir.
Today you will upload videos, sir.
Yeah, sure. We'll upload.
Yes.
Right, so we will meet on our tomorrow session.